Hey, it's Mike Henry with Follower of One, and today's episode we're continuing to speak about Ephesians 2 verses 1 through 10. I sometimes equate joy and life, and I do that because of the way I read this passage, this section. I'm going to read Ephesians 2:1 today. And Ephesians 2:1 says, "And you were dead in your trespasses and sins." That's it. It's a dark, kind of gloomy verse. We were dead in our trespasses and sins, but we end up at the end in verse 10, which I spoke about yesterday. We end up walking in the good works God has for us. One day we want God to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." If we didn't do anything for him, how is he going to say, "Well done"? Many of us think that our primary role as a workplace Christian is to stay out of trouble until we can get back to the church and do something with our faith. Our primary objective with our faith is to make us into better people so that we stay out of trouble. Oh, sure, we'll help people if they ask us, but we're busy. Everyone's busy, and so let's stay out of trouble. Let's learn how to pray. Let's make ourselves do a quiet time. Let's read a devotional. Maybe I can lead a Bible study, or I can accept some responsibility, teach a Sunday school class, or manage some ministry of the church. These things are all things that I do with my personal life. They're things that I do outside of my work life. We have to remember that the Lord has good works for us, which he prepared beforehand. It may be that you lead a Bible study, but it may be the person in the office next to you who's dead in their trespasses and sins. Or there's someone who, although they've been saved, they're not conscious of that fact today. They're too worried about their financial situation or the challenges that they're facing in their life. We've had a death in the family recently, and we've had other things that are happening in our family, and it's easy for us to get focused on our circumstances and get concerned about our tasks or our situation, and we miss out on the joy that we have in our relationship with God. We can live like we're dead, or we can be dead, and in either case, interacting with those people is part of what God has for us to do. I believe part of the good works which God prepared beforehand for us in 2:10, as I spoke yesterday, are to pay attention to the people around us, because some of those people were dead in their trespasses and sins just like we were. We formerly walked according to the course of the world, according to the prince of the power of the air. That's what it says in Ephesians 2:2. In the spirit that is now working in the sons of disobedience. We lived in the lust of our flesh, and we lived indulging the desires of our flesh and of our mind. We were by nature children of wrath, which is what it says in Ephesians 2:3. We were separated from God, and we can live separated from God, just not conscious of him, even as a believer. But in Ephesians 2:4, it says, "But God, being rich in mercy." God turned this deal. God changes us. He's the one who initiated the transaction that puts us in a position not to just be his people, but to be doers. Well done is a phrase we want to hear, and we will not hear well done unless we do something. And so today, my challenge for us is to ask God, what do you want me to do today? I know I'm not off duty until the next time I go to church, or until the next time that someone comes up to me and asks me a question. What duty, what job, what opportunities are there for me to do today as a follower of you? God will answer that. He'll give you ideas. He'll challenge you to do something in the life of someone that you work with, and I challenge you to take action. Do what he says. Solve for how. Look for ways to honor him by doing what he says. If he gives you an idea, figure out a way to do it. Thank you for being a minister in your workplace. I hope that you take a risk today. I hope that God put something in your mind that makes you a little uncomfortable, and that you take a risk, and that you see God work in your workplace. thank you so much for being a minister in your job. Check out Follower of One's website and leave us a comment or tell us what we can do to help you. Thank you very much.